Greetings! Welcome to the devlog for update 73 of Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. We're going to start off as always with a quick sound check. Make sure speakers aren't up too high. Wonderful. So what have we got for you this week? Well, it is finally time. We have our Meat Fortress update, the first of what will probably be a bunch in this theme, and as well as the full sort of, well, I'll call it provisionally final support for the Index. The controllers will obviously still need a bit of tuning in terms of how they function and options added for them based upon now that it's out in the wild and I can have, thousands of you folks actually trying them out and seeing what you like, what you don't, and what you want to be able to configure about them. But enough of that for now. Let's talk about our update. So, if we bop on over to here, due to the fact that, honestly, the weapons took a little longer than I expected, we are launching with one mode, although I've got two more that are almost done that'll be showing up real soon. So we've got Team Deathmatch here, and we can configure the spawn speeds and the number of bots that we want on each side. We can set up our health. We can set up whether we want blast jumping to be enabled or not, and how much damage we want it to actually do to us, if we like that sort of thing, as well as music. Over here on the left, we have our various firearms to select from for our 9 classes. Some of these, as you can see, there's missing some utility, missing some other items. That's something that's going to be added over time, but the basic stock firearms and the melee weapons are in. So let's go ahead and jump on. What I thought I would do for this devlog is basically just use a whole bunch of these different weapons in context to show you my fighting style with them and what I think is sort of effective engagement range, and just show off the mode and have some fun. So let's jump into that right now. So I figured we'd start off with what has probably been my favorite thing to play, which is Demo. Let's jump in. Got our teammates running out. Run up here. Really, there's only one appropriate way to go into combat. Blast jump. So one thing you're going to notice in Meat Fortress is that you actually have some air control. You might have noticed it there. I'm going to blast jump over here and then arc myself a little bit. Wonderful.
How delicious. Let's go.
Oh. Oh goodness. Attacked from all over the place. Boom! Oh, got hit by the sniper. So when you die, it shoots you back here, so you can swap out your equipment as needed. So I actually been using demo stuff a whole bunch lately. Let's switch it up. Let's go minigun. To go with it, let's grab our shotgun. And let's respawn. Got him. Aha! Nice try.
Launch me. You even basket while I'm blowing up your friends?
Bitte schlag mein Kleid. Und you.
All right, that was fun. There aren't that many bots there. That's because we had this dialed down to just a 6-person team max. Let's turn this up a bit. There we go. Let's grab ourselves our trusty rocket launcher. Harness that on the shoulder. Throw our rockets here. Wonderful. Gotta have the shovel. Absolutely necessary. Let's do this. Let's actually turn them down a bit on my side. Make this even harder. Let's go through the middle.
Just lay on the
Damn.
and walk away. I'm looking for you.
Gotcha, soldier!
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Up for you. Ah,
Blammo!
No, two. You call that puncturing my casing? You couldn't puncture a sausage if you were a tooth. That was the kind of sausage.
Ah!
I don't come after yourself with tinfoil.
that's not
Ball sausage. It's my ball sausage.
I think it's about time we turned up the heat.
You call that puncturing my casing? You couldn't puncture a sausage if you were a tooth. Doing a good job. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. I'm looking for you, Mo. Tenable, see? You are an infestation. Froggy. We're all soft-bodied, legless larvae. Deserve that.
Let's do some dual scout pistols.
Yeah, run.
Hey. I made the jump.
You really must stop meeting
Bam!
I am developing.
Taking some fire.
Challenge.
Bonk! Bonk!
The sausage is great.
Bonk!
Does it have new ways to breathe?
Bonk!
It's hard to meet someone, you know. You should be wearing your sister's sausage. Sausage? You're a bunch of numpties.
Ah! Bonk!
Probably deserve that. Keep moving.
Let's do some sniping, mate.
How can sausage be sausage?
Body shot. Boom. Boom. Just so you know, sniping with the scope is hard in this game. If it's frustrating, that's because it's frustrating. Blammo! If you have trouble with the scope, you can still use the laser. Blammo! At mid-range, it's honestly easier.
Yes.
Let's practice some medicine. Yeah.
It must be salted and also seasoned.
Yeah.
You are like a cigarette that has just been rolled.
Yo, good stuff, right? Anywho, let's talk about what is essentially what I managed to get done in time for today's release, because I didn't quite hit the point that I wanted to be at. There's a bunch of stuff actually for this update that is somewhere between like 50 and 90% done. There's more props that were made for the environment and little details. There's some game mode stuff that I have like most of the code written for, but not quite. And so the first thing you should know about this update is that it is not done. We've got a bunch more ideas and a bunch more content and systems to finish getting into it that we're going to be basically doing over the next, month or so, little bits at a time, each week. For especially for you TF2 folk out there, don't worry. Stuff like the basically the three support classes right now, the NG, the medic, and the spy. I guess you can call that a support class. Both the bots don't have the special functionality for those classes that I intended to put in, and the player is missing some equipment for them. The metagun, the ability to at the very least deploy a turret, and the ability to cloak. All of which are going to with the Spy's Watch. All of those are planned. They're all in various stages of being done, but I'm going to be dropping those out, as I said, over the next month. In terms of game modes, same thing is true. Right now, it's just free-for-all, with no scoring and no goal per se, just to iron out all of the initial bugs and make sure everything is stable before I build some more structure on top of that. So the plan is for free-for-all to both add some team scoring as well as allow you to pick sub-regions of the level to play in. So if you want to do free-for-all, but you don't want to be in the whole level, but you just want to do like tense rooftop combat in the center, that will be an option that will be added possibly by the end of the weekend, if I'm being honest. I'm going to keep tinkering with this thing, today and Saturday and Sunday, even though I'm exhausted, because I have to fix bugs anyway, so I'm going to have the project open, so I'm going to keep tinkering away at it. And then a little bit later, I want to add a capture point mode that's more structured and has a bit more sort of like special purpose AI behaviors so that they specifically attack and defend regions in a slightly more coordinated way. And then something nice in defense oriented as well. As I said, these are all things that I got part of the way through, and then as I was running out of time, I was like, I need something, one mode completely done, so I sort of fell back to Team Deathmatch and made sure that that just worked. So yeah, there obviously still are some bugs involving items and involving some like showstoppers and weird stuff, some of it related to like platform related or input related stuff that I was tinkering in to add index support and improve some other things. If you are running into a problem, and I have to say this over and over again because don't leave me a bug report in a YouTube comment. Don't leave me a bug report in a Reddit comment. It's impossible to keep track of those. There's a bug report section of our Steam community forum. Create a new post in it, include all of your hardware details, what's in your computer, what headset you're running, and as detailed of a description of what the behavior is, and if it's a reproducible thing or if it was just a fluke and it happened once or twice and you're not quite sure why, that increases the likelihood that I can fix that problem rapidly so much, and it means I can actually keep track of it and get back to you with it, especially if I need more information from you. So yeah. So that's on bug reporting. Index Folk, I know it's some of you have already gotten it. It's rolling out to the rest of you over the course of the weekend and Monday. I mean, I'm not getting my 2.0 base stations till Monday because for whatever reason shipping in Los Angeles is hard. But either way, if you have, I'm not going to show what's been added on this video here, but if you've got an Intex, you might want to open up the input options in the options panel. Something special for you there. Awesome. And then lastly, just so I'm not keeping you folks all here, I want to give out a huge list of like shout outs and thanks to a bunch of folk that have made this update possible. So first off, a huge thanks obviously to Valve for letting us do this this ridiculous update. It's been a privilege to be able to work with the IP and especially to dissect its assets, its style. Like I loved TF2 to begin with, and working on this, I have gotten an even deeper appreciation to all of the incredible design work, the aesthetic coherence, the confident style of all of its assets, and that it's still, like what is it, 12 years later, has a completely unique sense of humor and approach to world building that is infectiously funny to me, and it has been delightful to make this meaty fusion with. So thank you to the folks at Valve who coordinated this opportunity happening. Thank you to the hardware folks for making the index stuff, because if they hadn't, I would not have been invited up in this, to give feedback, and this opportunity wouldn't have happened. So thank you truly, all of you. And then a massive thanks to the freelancers and collaborators of ours who have been working just super intensely, especially the past 2 months on this update. Cinecat, who is a 3D artist, he's responsible for most of the environment props that you're seeing. A lot of I only got half the props that he made in. The rest are going to be going in. He also did pretty much all of the textures you see in the environment and did such a fantastic job of recreating essential painterly elements of the TF2 aesthetic while still making it our own thing and making it fit with the rest of H3's look. As well as just doing a dozen different random, the number of times that I've been like, hey, can you, he gave us the wibbly bits on the weapons, the number of times that I would just wake him and be like, hey, can you make this happen? And Cinecat would just jump right to it. So many thanks, buddy. To Ben Gummer, who is the 3D artist behind all of the SoSig stuff, but pulled out all the stops in making our delightful TF2E versions of the SoSigs that are just, and they're SoSiguns, who, yeah, huge volume of work for them, and they look fantastic, and they have so much character to them. So thank you again for that. And Joe Cataldo, our composer on this project, who, like everything he's done for this, took it a little too far and then was like, no, we need live musicians, Anton. And so there's I believe 8 musicians worth of live performances in the main theme for the game, which right now the only the battle music plays. The main theme will go in over the weekend. I forgot to enable that for when you first load into the level. But yeah, it's been fantastic working with him, and the development of the piece and the development of so many parts of the tone and the goofiness of this mode have gone hand in hand, and it just sounds so good in game. Oh my goodness, and of course the rusty guys that I work with here, who have been with me and holding me together this past week has been wild. The amount of bug fixing and late night sessions of running through things. I am fortunate not just to work on this game, but to work with my best friends. So I always say to people, who do any sort of creative work, if you can find that rare combination of people that you are creatively compatible with and are best friends with, treasure that, because it's the greatest thing you can have as a creator. So anyway, I'll stop rambling. I hope you thanks for sitting through my long rambly thank yous. I hope you all have so much fun playing this update. There's more to come, more meaty stuff, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Peace.